Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another installment of the Quickview series, and this one is that one that is rarer. It is fewer and farer between. This is the full... It is the full unboxing. We begin with a box, because on these boxes, they put phrases like this one right here, even with the backwards R. RTR, ready to run. So that is what we do. We unbox because do you know what YouTube loves? For some reason, they love an unboxing. People love to watch things come out of a box. And truth in advertising, tape is sealed. Tape is sealed. We've never had it out of the box. We go through the experience together. My goal, my hope with any RTR is that the most that I have to do is solder a connector onto the speed control. There's a picture of the speed control on the box. And look, I'm sorry, I cannot read you the box. I can tell you some very basic things. It has a 32-turn 550. It's got some model of Fly Sky. It looks like a G4P, but different. Hopefully it'll be stamped on it. It's got full bearings. It has what look. It even says WP 1060. It's got a Hobby Wing 1060 in there. But the picture of the speed control doesn't. The plug is out of frame, so I can't tell what kind of plug is on it. We've got an inexplicable little plastic tab to a jumper for the speed control and a cross wrench. This is, of course, the Yikong YK4107. And the initial disclaimer would have to be this. Yikong effectively doesn't exist. Oh, I love when they pre-decal and then they just give you the extras. It's got a creepy Nissan man on there. Because, yeah, don't make me put the stickers on it. I chose unwisely. I should have opened it from the other end. Then we have a very GNM Racing 2.4 gigahertz 10 channel. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 8, 9, 10. So we got a 10 channel plastic wheel, always lovely, solid plastic, because I want you to think back in your life, how much do you love just sitting and holding onto a piece of plastic? We won't hold it against it. There's plenty of radios that are coming all plastic now. I don't know, honestly, there's a couple radios that have a metal wheel. I don't know how I feel about the metal wheel. How did we bag this? Did we just drive it in from one end? We just drove it in from one end. That is a heck of a front bumper they got on there. I'll give them that. There's little swirls of styrofoam floating around. All right, it's clipless. I would also like you to take note, ladies and gentlemen, there's no documentation in that box of any kind. Is there a QR code on the outside of the box? There is a QR code on the outside of the box. That's where we've gotten to. So, they do not really pass the RTR test because, okay, all right. Looks like there's a little thumb nut in the front. How loose do we have to get it? Does it have to come all the way off? Turning. Body looks like a Nissan Patrol. I'm on board. Okay, so it's a huge, like M4 thumb stud from the front, and then the body just hinges to the back like that. We've got a full light controller, receiver. Hey, we don't even have to solder nothing on. Beautiful. As mentioned, 32 turn. We've got unlockable differentials. Yes, and they are wild. They are wild. We have a tire that is absolutely a clone Hyrax. Clone Hyrax, 1.65 by 4.56 by 2.2. That's pretty clearly a 1.9. The foam is very hard. Very hard. Very hard. We do have shock mounting positions on the tires. Curiously, okay, there must be a 2-speed because I see another servo right there. And then the moment that you've all been waiting for. Well, let's take a look at the what are we working with? You know what? Those shocks don't look half bad. We've got metal hexes. We've got a reasonable approximation of an F10T. We've got what appears to be pretty decent steering throw. We've got this. Can you see that guy working right there? That's going to be real interesting. They speak highly. It's a servo saver. It's a servo saver disguised as, you know, looks like a scaly element. We're going to see how that goes. It is portaled. It is definitely unlocked because the axles are they spinning in opposite directions? They sure look like they're spinning in opposite directions. Yeah. So that diff is definitely unlocked. The rear diff is also unlocked. And what need be pointed out is it's got a cutting brake. So we have a servo in the back that can pull 2 linkages that, with any luck, we'll be able to see with the wheel removed. I should have pulled the rear. Now, here's what I'll say about Yikong at this junction right here. Did I halfway mention it basically does not exist in the U.S.? You're going to have to import this. We have to import a lot of things. Support for companies like MST. The only way to get parts for it is to order them from Korea. You're going to have to do the same with parts for this. The parts are going to be very bespoke. It has brakes. That's a brake. It has a brake rotor and a caliper, and this thing mechanical, not sadly not hydraulic. It is. I can't tell if it is oversprung, which I feel it is certainly underdamped. But we haven't driven it. I get the feeling they're leaning into a much more scale operation here. So we've got that thing. This would be direct competitor for something like FMS FCX10. We're going to use pretty much all of these channels. It's got a lighting controller, so one of those buttons is going to control the lighting. These have a forward backward. That's probably diff locks. 5 and 6 are knobs, and that knob has full 360-degree rotation. So does that one. I don't know, maybe a 2-speed. I don't know. You know what? Might as well. I'll scan a QR code. Why not? And as I think one would fully anticipate, I can't read any of that. There's a tab at the top that says language, and if you tap on language, it just takes you to the home page, and I can't read any of that either. So, you know what they say? Reading the manual voids your warranty. Boy, I cannot, like this. This is some serious styrofoam. It does not want to let go. We're gonna blunder through it as we do. Got some Amazon basics. The value leader, the low-cost leader in batteries. And it is, minus having all of the things that would help us out, like a manual and a pack of batteries, it does indeed appear to be ready. It is ready to run. The battery, well, unsurprisingly, is outfitted to contain a absolutely massive battery, and I do not hold this against this because I think who they're aiming at is, you don't own 27 of these. You want to mush around in the forest, or have your dog chase it, or take it down to the park. Okay, we didn't auto boot. Now we've got I'm just, you know what I'm doing. I'm just staring because I'm trying to figure out where the power switch is. Is the jumper in LiPo? No, it's not. LiPo. Is the forward brake reverse? It's in forward reverse. Okay, that's what the second jumper is for. If you want to pull it in like trail mode. There we go. I do like a switch that you can access with the body attached. I do like that. Okay. Duh. Okay, headlights are on. Ooh, look at this. Ah, it's got the angel eyes. So the headlights aren't on, the angel eyes are on. All right, are we still unlocked? Let's see. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is stunningly reminiscent of the FCX10. I'm just unplugging batteries as we go. In that, see, what's even better than tactile feedback is immediate locked. If the lights are on, the diffs are locked. If the lights are off, the diffs are open. Nice. I'm 100% on board. Okay, let's see. Unfortunately, I mean, it does light up. Maybe it's the 2-speed? Let's see. Yeah, I think that's low. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Channel 8. 2-speed. Yeah, there we go. Again, 32 for, turn 550. I don't know if I've seen a 32 for turn 550 before. Oh! We pat the chest in respect. 3-position slider. Lights off. Angel eyes on. All lights on. Do we have turn signals? We do! Front and rear signals. Oh, man. Y'all know... Wait, y'all know me, man. I am a sucker. I literally can't get that stuff off. It just sticks right back on. I am a sucker for that. Which means that... So, lockers, lights, 2-speed... I heard something. We want to see what makes that move, yeah? Okay, this doesn't do anything. This doesn't do anything. Unless... Okay, I can turn both of those on. That's just a body hanging up on the tires. Okay, one of those turned off. So there's a mix. All right, channels 9 and 10 somehow mix the diff. It has to have something to do with the tank turn operation. We are going to figure that out outside. Would I have preferred some kind of a clip? You know what? Not really. Not really. This is a little close to the bumper for my meat hands, but as I mentioned, it is basically just a M4 screw. Yeah. You know what? I'm 100% fine with this. You can remove it with your fingers, but it's got a hole for a wrench. I'm a sucker for it, right? Now, we already have an advantage here over the FCX10. I love that FCX10. And what is the advantage we have here today? You saw it right there. Little 1060 speed control. So if you want to put a Fusion in this, or any other control mechanism, I would think Fusion is going to be where you're going to go. You just put it in there. The FCX10 has basically an all-in-one 2-in-1 receiver with like all of the channels filled. So it's not easy to change this radio out. I mean, just think, you're going to need a 10-channel radio to change this out if you want to retain all of the controls, continue to keep the lighting module working, all of that stuff. So this is one of those instances where you're kind of locked into the radio. There is literally nothing. There's nothing on this radio, maybe it might be under one of the stickers, to tell us who the OE is. It is stunningly reminiscent of the one that comes with the FMS FCX10 K5, and I'm assuming the LC80 Pro. Those lights are really bright. All right, we have many things to test. It honestly seems appropriately slow in low gear. It's got some little scale bits. That seems like it would actually open. We've got a receiver. We've got lockers. The lockers, as I said, I mean, some of this is wild, man. Some of this is wild. It's, if you like a Cherokee, it's close, but it's not quite a Cherokee. We can tell by the grill. It's an unlicensed Nissan Patrol. The fitment of the fender and everything looks pretty good. 25 kg stock servo with a damper is going to be a little underwhelming on a rock. But overall, you know, first blush out of the box, boy, sure would have been nice. Just a sheet. Just one sheet to tell us what the functions do. Rather than a QR code that takes you to I'm assuming it's Chinese. I don't know what the characters are. I'm assuming it's just has a manual in Chinese. This is not going to be an overwhelming performer on rock, but neither is the FCX10. The FCX10 is a trail rig, and we don't use that in the pejorative sense. We use it in the sense that it has turn signals. If your vehicle has turn signals and lights and a full array of lights, it's aiming at other things. Also, full interior inside, steering wheel and everything. Pop it open, put a driver figure in there. Wheels, tires. So driver figure, wheels and tires, and a Fusion. You're probably going to have to change that servo as well. Very short list. Parts support, always not going to be there if you're in this market. We will take it out and run it and see how our thoughts progress. So as I drove out here from shop to course, a couple things happened. Most notable of which was, I was having a great time. Okay, let me tell you something. All right, there's nothing wrong with the quote-unquote trail truck. It's great, okay? The ability to do a bunch of stuff is cool. Everything doesn't have to be this incredible rock crawler. That said, okay, I have both differentials unlocked right now. Let's see what we can do on open diffs. Oh yeah, like this is open diffs. That front. Oh, I kind of love it. Okay, hold on. Oh, that was the, dang it. All right, want me to reset. Okay, so we get up to here and we think, oh, we haven't made the right approach. Okay, we get down to here. As it turns out, it's smarter than I. So you turn on the two green lights. It will disable the rear diff if it's locked. And then when you turn, that's where it cutting brakes. So it cutting brakes to that side. See that tire's rotating? See that tire that's not rotating? So it goes off of the steering. So if you're doing steering input, it's gonna cut. So then when we're doing the crawl, we wanna turn off both cutting brakes, turn the lockers back on. And get about the performance that we would expect out of a fake Hyrax. Oh, I think that only if you try to crawl rocks are these tires gonna hold you back. Honestly, for what I believe this was designed for, they're absolutely fine. The only thing I haven't gotten towards proving, I'm going to test it right here now. I just want to see if we can make it. No, that tire, it is, you know, if we're talking about rock crawling, it is oversprung. Yeah, cutting brake is weird. Cutting brake is real weird. Also, the fact that we can turn cutting brake on one side at a time, I mean, it took me a little while to figure out dig. Dig wasn't super intuitive to me. This is less so. Like, as I have it set now, I have both turned on. So if I turn that way, it locks that one. And if I turn this way, it locks the other one. Which is not working here. You also cannot cancel the cutting brake by just locking the diff. That would be nice. I mean, anything that we're looking at, there are so many and so many brands that don't have US exposure. The TRX4 has to be the most imitated vehicle out there. This is basically a TRX4 underneath. We've got lockers, we've got portals, we've got a 2-speed. The cutting brake is certainly neat. So I'm not going to hold it against this guy explicitly that he, like, we know it's the tire. Okay, the platform isn't getting all bent out of shape trying to do the stuff. Oh, sometimes the little knobs are drag brake. I wonder if one of them is drag brake. Let's see. Okay, I turned one the other way. Nothing there. Turn the other one the other way. Maybe. No. Anything under the door that will help us out? No, I cannot say with any confidence what the two knobs do. Oh. It is clone tire stuff, man. It's clone tire stuff. This thing will get you only so far. It is so reminiscent of the FCX10 K5. But, and I don't just want to say lighter and funnerer. I think if you were to put a Nissan Patrol and a big old K5 Blazer side by side. Oh, let me try. It's more fun on dirt. I don't know. I'm kind of on board, you know? Is it gimmicky? I mean, yeah, sure. And you got to think, you're getting it's proto dig. It's dig that predates dig. That got me right in the eye holes. I can't see. I got dazzled by the glare. Yeah, the FMS, making comparisons mid-drive between the, I want to say 1407, which leads me to believe it's 4107. It's on the license plate. Making comparisons between the 4107 and the FCX10 K5, not making comparisons between them would be impossible. These are doing very much the same things. The FMS comes on those Super Marshers, which are Super Swamper clones, and here we've got Hyrax clones. The tearability is interchangeable. The tire that it was fitted with it is bringing back, it is evoking memories in me of the same level of, I can't do that. Can we? Yeah, it doesn't mind. Okay, now as a party trick goes, that one's pretty good. That was pretty good. Like, I mean, that's almost that's almost a selling point for me in and of itself. The cutting brake, high speed, rear diff unlocked. You will find yourself pressing a lot of buttons on this. I think honestly, it's kind of yeah. I mean, here's the turning circle full locked. I'm kind of finding myself forgetting what the FCX10 layout was, because this, I don't know, this is more pleasing. Oh, the tire holds it back. Can we set it down? Yeah, see, this is an instance where actual dig would be pretty handy. Okay, almost. All right. And then, I know it's a wish too far. But if locking the rear differential could cancel the cutting brakes, that would be pretty great. Yeah, these tires are not him. So, out of the box, I mean, it does what fundamentally a toy car should do, which is be fun. And a respectable level of intuitivity. They shoved us into the intuitivity because nothing. We're going to give you a QR, and that QR is going to take you to a manual, which is a single sheet and is in Chinese. So, I mean, you could use Google Eye to translate. What's the fun in that? Take it outside, get it dirty, figure out how it goes. Like, how bad could it get? I can turn lights on and off. I can, if I get my finger, you kind of have to use two hands. Honestly, I mean, we tested the spark drive axle here a while back, which is, I think, I definitely think that it is a proof of concept made real. That's what it is. It was a test of it. We were turning a theory into a hypothesis. We were testing it. I don't think that has an application in our scale world. I don't think they can scale the parts down far enough. I can see the applications for that in the real world, like on side-by-sides or something. Neat. But, I mean, this delivers. They call it tank turn. I mean, it's really not. We're infinity spinning. But, I mean, it's worth it. Now, this, throw some decent tires on here. The 32 turn 550, it's not bad. It's not bad. As far as RTR gear goes, it's RTR gear. It's not terrible. Also, here's what's crazy. I guess, I mean, seemingly, perhaps because, now, when you turn the cutting brake on, that does not deactivate it? Does not deactivate it? Okay, the cutting brake won't work if it's locked. No, it just doesn't activate when it's locked. Oh, you got to activate both. Because you are going to accidentally hit the buttons on the controller fairly regularly. They are basically flush. There they are, sneaky Heidi. They made the knob so big that I kind of don't even mind that it's all plastic. And unless there's some sort of super weird connection under there, and we have seen some weird ones, backward C's, upside down D's, like knobs that don't match any other shift knobs layout, steering knobs layout, it's fine. It's fine. I know it's big. It's got these little guys on it. Those little guys. It's not the most comfortable wheel I've ever felt, but it's not a G4P, perhaps because we've got a little bit of mechanical advantage, the bigger knob. Oh no, you know what? This is a must. Okay, we'll do unlocked second gear. Yeah, you can get away with more speed. This is, look at this. Okay, so the locking action is really quite smooth. Yeah. It is not a rock. Honestly, that amount of gusto in second gear, they're okay, let me downshift. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We have enough gear reduction here. The combination of the gearbox and the axles, we have enough gear reduction that you could go up KV and be absolutely fine with it, because this is wide open low gear, which is about where I like to be on a single speed setup. I want to be just above a walking pace. So second gear is effectively and realistic is a trailing gear, and I'm 100% okay with that. Oh, all right. It's just genuine glee. When you get into you get it in second gear, you put the cutting brakes on. Yeah, it lives up to tank turn, because now it turns like a tank. Any steering input equals, baby, we turning. The only thing at the end of this day that I'm going to want to know is, oh, we can J-turn. Okay, let's see if we can pop a sweet one. Oh, is this a rock crawler? No. No. Could you get it to become one? Yes. Should you? No. No, don't. You would be manipulating it to the point where, like, and when I say that, I mean making wholesale changes. I view vehicles like this, the FCX10 and this one in equal measure, as what they are. This is a trail vehicle for the trails that can rock crawl a bit. Yes, put a Fusion in it. Simplify your life. No one should have to live any extended period with a Hobby Wing 1060 and a 32-turn sealed can 550. Life is too short. You know what I have also, what I'm also wondering? When we were getting that real nose push where we can't get the front end to settle down, I wonder how many of that is the 1-2 punch of a 25 kg servo, and let us not forget, probably 25 kg on its best day, with the voltage and the amperage piped to it via a 1060s BEC. Yeesh. It would be a good day to see 20 kg. Like, if you're seeing 250 ounces out of this thing, and then it's got the little squishy, basically servo saver damper. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get super accurate steering. You're not going to get super powerful steering. But at no point have I really minded, and this thing has not been successful climbing any obstacle that we pointed at that. Not one. And what am I having? Positively good time. This is a soft recommendation with requisite caveats. Know that your upgrade path is basically limited to electronics, wheels and tires. You're not going to be able to do much else. If you break something and you're in the US market, if you're in Canada, I have no idea what the Yikong exposure is in Europe, or Australia, or anywhere else. If you're familiar with Yikong, let me know. It's not in the same vein of the FMS FCX10. It's basically the same thing. It's full of parlor tricks, a little bit of an advantage to the FCX10 for the radio, which is the 11-channel Fly Sky, which, I mean, I'm assuming this is very similar. But it can disable its drag brake altogether on the radio. There's just a little button and you push it and it turns the drag brake off. So it is a proper trailing vehicle that does a little bit of rock crawling. This is a trailing vehicle that does a little bit of rock crawling. I will say, and we can do at least one thing. There we go. Not well, but we did it. Will we fall on the way down? The throttle is pretty smooth. I'm trying to determine if I think it's a 70-30 trigger. It feels more like a 50-50 trigger, because for something out of the box, you can really creep reverse. It doesn't feel dramatically underpowered. This is a vehicle that you kind of know. You know what you're looking for, but you maybe don't know that the 4107 is the thing that you're looking for. If you have eyed the FCX10 K5, not the straight axle one, if you have eyed the K5 and thought, but I don't like the cosmetics, there it is. There it is. Because this right here is kind of almost worth it. The cutting brake, it's no loss. In fact, I'll do an even hotter take. I'll go one step further. Not only do I not think it's a drawback to not have dig, but have the cutting brake instead, I think for what this vehicle is aimed towards, what it is structured as, I think the cutting brake is better. It's more entertaining. Like high gear and cutting brake. That's this thing's party trick, and it's fantastic. The Yikong 4107 delivers, I think, quite well on what it is. Its greatest weakness are knockoff high racks, because it doesn't matter what you put knockoff high racks on, they're not going to be very good. They're not very good when they're the real high racks. Put a better tire on here, the tire of your choice. The suspension seems reasonably well sorted. It is never going to be as robust as something like a TRX4, right? It's just not. But I'm enjoying it thoroughly. In terms, this is the trail/rock crawler for the person not life invested into it. This is for the filthy casual. This is the Nintendo 64 or the PlayStation 2 hiding in amongst the, what do they call them? The PC elite, the PC gamer elite. You don't have to do, it's RTR. It can't crawl a rock worth a diggity damn. But I don't think that's what they were aiming for from the outset. So I judge not too harshly. If you have headlights and taillights that you can turn on and off from the remote, if you have a 2-speed and a cutting brake and all of these little things and doodads and gewgaws, this is an all-purpose, I just want to go out, put a 6,000 milliamp 3S pack in it. And also, I would love to point out here, most importantly, second gear, unlock them. That's the speed on 3S. They thought this out. They thought it out. A lot of vehicles were clearly designed with 2S in mind. And when you put 3S in it, all of a sudden you're about 50% too fast. They didn't do that here. It's not just 3S capable, it's 3S ready. This thing is great. It's great. It is softly recommended with about 5 asterisks after it. Know that your part support is not going to be there. Know that you do not have an upgrade path. If you decide one day, if it just clicks in your head and you know what I want to do? I want to do serious rock crawling. Not this. Not with this. Just don't do it. I said the exact same thing about the FCX10. That is not a rock crawler. These are clones or approximations or interpretations or the sincerest form of flattery of the TRX4. You can absolutely turn a TRX4 into a rock crawler. There are the parts for it, and the path to do it is unlimited. Do you want flat rail chassis? Do you want to comp it out? You can. Do you want to scale it out? You can. Do you want to put a hard body on it? Do you want it to be built like a proverbial tank? Not even a real tank, which break down all the time, but built like a tank of your imagination that is nigh on indestructible. That is the TRX4. The TRX4 will not, I think, in my experience, having driven a dozen of them, I think back most to the TRX4 Sport High Trail RTR. I immediately said, this isn't for me. Because not only was it not a rock crawler, it wasn't even really passable as a trail vehicle. This is absolutely passable as a trail vehicle, and if you put some decent tires on it, you can climb up some rocks. It's never going to be the best rock crawler. It can't. It's not in its DNA. It has a durability level that we do not know. That is indeterminate, because this is a Quickview, and we haven't driven it for hours and hours and hours and hours to find out. What I do know is I can turn my lights on and off. I've got turn signals, and I am an absolute sucker for turn signals. It's got a cutting brake, which fills me with a childlike glee. It delivers on whatever promises it might have made. You don't need to change the radio. You don't really need to even change the electronics. If you buy one of these, order tires at the same time. The tires are, if you're going to touch a rock, if you're never going to touch a rock, those tires will do just fine. The Yikong YK4107, if you live somewhere where they are common and you don't intend on hardcore rock crawling, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. Get yourself a 5,000 milliamp 3S pack. Slam that brick in the middle of this. Put some tires that are suited to your local terrain, whether that be clearing mud or moving through sand or doing whatever. Just have a good day. Just have a good day. Don't try to make it into a rock crawler, though, because it's not. It's not. It's fun. It's fun, and that's the number one thing that it should be. You'll see it here on the channel again. There's a box sitting inside the workshop right now with a Fusion 1800, a set of tires, a set of wheels, a set of inserts. The gentleman who bought this and sent it into the canyon for testing knew exactly what he was doing. There's nothing in that box dedicated to attempting to turn this into a rock crawler. It has the stuff to make it more fun. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing explicitly wrong with the Yikong YK4107, aside from no exposure in the industry here. Like if I had to buy a part for that, I would have to Google. I wouldn't even know where to start. AliExpress? Directly from Yikong? I don't know. So take that into account. Durability is always there. But in terms of cost-benefit analysis, this thing's fun. It's really fun. Would I say it's for me? I don't know. I would say, let's get it a little side right here, right there. I think it qualifies for a pretty pass. It looks a bit like, it's got a Cherokee flavor, but I prefer the look of the Patrol. I would take the rack off the roof. I always think those huge racks look a little weird, but I am a fan of the Yikong YK4107. It is an absolute alternative to the FCX10 K5 if the K5 isn't your cup of tea. I mean, this whole genre isn't specifically my cup of tea. I go a little more at the rock thing. But softly recommended with all the asterisks included. Know that you're not going to be able to get parts. Know that your upgrade path is limited, etc., etc., etc. Other et ceteras, thank you so much for watching. I pre-thank you for commenting below. I look forward to seeing you in the comments. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And in between now and all of those other things, I hope that you at least make some effort to do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. We will see you again here from the canyon. with whatever we have then, cutting brakes on. We're gonna J turn it out. We're gonna go. It's just good. It's good. It's fun. These things should be fun.